but she has a
Hi.
virus. Didn't
I
want
don't
to.
want to make people sick.
No, thank you, understood.
Well, we hope we see you the next meeting, Jean, in person.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, the first thing I want to do is welcome Tom Kloss. We are happy to have you join us and look forward to working with you.
Well, thank
And
you.
if everyone would go around and introduce themselves and if, when they finish, if you'd like to share something with us about your interests, that'd be great. I think you know your.
I'm Ed Rippey, I'm a neighbor of yours, nice to see you.
I'm Kate Plumley Stewart. I'm the select board rep.
Mhm.
Whitney is.
Oh, hi, Whitney Banker. I take the minutes.
That's why you're busy typing away.
Yep.
I'm Carol Wyman. I live on Muskoma.
Nice to meet you.
My name's Jay Wellens. I live off of Mascoma on the Lebanon side, off of 4A, not too far from the Big Hook, if you're familiar with that place.
And,
Yeah, so I'm pretty, pretty close to that.
I was biking by you the other day.
Oh, yeah? You're a biker?
Cool.
I'm a biker too, good.
And I'm a fan of the baited hooks, so,
And I'm Shirley Green, Crystal Lake neighbor also. And I do have a couple things. Oh, I'm going to keep it on first.
And you can do Jean too.
Pardon me.
Don't forget Jean.
Oh, Jean, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
And
I'm,
Kid Shaw is on online to another newer member. And then Hope
Right.
Divas.
hi,
Introduce them.
sorry, sorry,
Go ahead, Jean.
okay. Jean Hinshaw and on Methodist Hill.
Tom Claus, welcome to be here. Really looking forward to it. I'm a big outdoor enthusiast. I do pretty much everything outdoor you can imagine. Very active and been here for 3 years now, live on Holly Drive. Tell people it's the Lion House. It's the first house on the left. Love the area, love the lake community, love Enfield. Retired and wanted to give back to the community and thought this was a good avenue to do that. Very interested in doing things like trail maintenance and very concerned about water quality. So anything I can do to help those kind of things. It's two of the primary reasons why I want to be part of this committee.
That's great. I was just talking to the person who was working on the trails the other night in the meeting and he said he sure can use volunteers. So connect you with it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I'll go along with you on that.
Okay, so because we have someone on Teams to record our attendance, we will go around and just state our name. We'll start with you, Karen.
Oh, Carol Wyman,
Jay Wellens.
Shirley Green
Tom Claus.
Ed Rippey,
Kate Plumley Stewart.
and Jean.
Jean Hinshaw.
And we don't have any public here tonight, so there's no public comments. And the next thing I do is approve the minutes of the last meeting.
does anybody need copies? My printer ran off 3 copies instead of 1.
I'm all set.
Okay,
I'm all set.
I hear a motion, to put them on the table.
so-
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as printed.
I'll second that.
Are there any corrections?
No, that sounds pretty good.
I have one thing I want to ask. Ed Morris was at the whole meeting, but his name does his name not appear because he's the town manager, or should he be under?
We could add him.
Yeah, well,
Under staff, I'll add him.
Yeah, we could add him.
okay. Staff,
I didn't notice that. Yeah.
yeah, I think we should add him.
That's okay.
He spent the whole meeting here, so.
Yeah.
And he contributed to it.
That's the need, I hear approval of the minutes.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have the motion, so you just need
Oh,
to,
okay.
We just need to.
I'll second it.
approve.
Yeah, we just need.
and you have to go around the table because we
Right.
have an online person.
Yep, so we'll start with Jean. Do you approve the minutes, Jean?
Yes, I,
I approve.
Jay approves.
Shirley Green approves.
I approve.
Ed approves.
Kate approves.
The next thing we've, in the past, had a select board, report. And, somehow they got left off the agenda and we'd like to bring that back. And so Kate is our select board representative.
And Kate used to give the report and didn't notice it for a while either. So I usually do try to fill you guys in. So we've had quite a few things going on. You guys know we have 2 building projects going on, so I'm gonna give you just like the really quick overview. Whitney Hall, a lot of the framing is up, so if you go by, that's progress is really great. If you are interested in getting a tour at some point, if you have any questions, Ed Morris is the point person on that. Public safety building, we've not done groundbreaking yet, looking at doing it mid to late June. It's the project is it's pretty much shovel ready. They're finalizing some of the last of the subcontracts, and the select board has given Ed authorization to do a not to exceed number. Really great news in terms of energy conservation. We were able to pull out the polished concrete because no one wants polished concrete anyways. You don't want to be sliding on a floor that's polished concrete. And we were able to use some of the savings from that and one other area to increase the R value of the roof. So definitely a great trade. So pretty excited about that. We had brought to you guys 2 properties for sale. One is Shed Street. That RFP is closed. So, and since it's a real estate transaction right now, I don't have an update for you other than tell you the RFP is closed. When there's more news, I can definitely share it with you. The other one was Johnston Drive. And there was a right of first purchase, which is different than a right of first refusal. So the right of first purchase, they have the right to purchase it at market value. Originally, the holder of the right of purchase indicated they were going to buy. Then they changed their mind. Then they said they were going to buy. And then they ended up selling their property and decided not to buy. And then, so with that, the select board opted, it was actually a 3-2 vote, to keep the property and incorporate it with the rest of the parcel. So, yeah, I mean, it's a point, and to give you an idea, I don't know if you followed along on this one, it's a 0.09 acre lot. It's a little tiny triangle. And once the sheds were taken down, it became very obvious that the visual delineation was a bit of a challenge. And certainly the abutter had given the town that parking that's across from the Copeland block. So I think, you know, as part of a compromise, the Johnston Drive Property Use Committee decided that they would make that, you know, part of the sale. And I think it made sense at that time to honor that. You know, they gave us something and we've given them the right of first purchase. That being said, there were no other offers. We ran at the same time. We ran an RFP and nobody put in, and it was sent to the abutters, so and none of them put in for it either. And so 2 of the select board members wanted to extend for another week, and 3 of us were like, you've all had your chance. And I think, you know, there's a sense among, I think, the 3 of us, 2 who voted to keep it, that they're not making more lake frontage, and really it felt like, from what we had heard over the 6 months of study, that the reason for making that a sale was to honor that right of first purchase. So I don't know if it would have had a different outcome if we waited a week, but that's kind of the soup of it.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's great from a conservation standpoint. I don't know if I've told you guys, when we did the invasive species survey, they found, in addition to finding invasive species, which we know a lot about, they found an endangered willow that's on that property. So there's some kind of cool things down there. Yeah, so you don't want to be plowing through that either. So the town, in terms of road maintenance, because there were concerns about washing out and having vehicle traffic and having silt going into the lake, the town had put up some temporary signage. This week, they went in and they filled in the roadway with some gravel because it had degraded with the storms, and it hadn't really been kept up by the neighboring community. And so they went ahead and took care of that so that it will keep some of the silt coming off the road from washing into the lake. So I think from a conservation standpoint, it was all good news on our front. And then let's see, I'm trying to think if I'm missing something else, probably. But if you guys have any questions on that, the other big thing is the new website.
Yeah.
Do you wanna, and I had Whitney loaded, if you don't mind, I'm gonna give you
Oh,
like the
that'd be great.
2-second tour. Which relates also being welcome, because Ed did a presentation for us on 91A. Did he get a chance to catch up too? I know he's super busy.
No.
We can probably just do it. So this is our new website. Looks similar. I'm not gonna go through the whole navigation. If you want the whole tour, you can watch the select board video on YouTube. And there's a plug. So we have our YouTube site. This will be up on YouTube later. But I just wanted to call attention to, the navigation's changed a little bit, and we'll begin looking at statistics over time, our team will, and they may change some of these, but they were ones that we thought people would use the most often. So there are still things being loaded. And so we would be under government, and then for our committee, and I didn't think to ask you to load this one. Yeah. Woody totally knows that, I think. So this is our new page. And has all of our meetings in the side, when we meet in general. It has the previous links we had on the left-hand side remain. So that natural resource inventory there, the plant inventory is there. So it's pretty cool page. It looks very nice. Just cleans it up and makes it a little bit more modern. And then in terms of introducing people to our committee and to any committee in town, we now have a volunteer tab, which it lives under How Do I from the front page. So you're there, and then it doesn't.
Oh.
And so it opens up. They're still in the process of populating it, but it tells you a little bit about, so somebody's like, hey, I am interested in volunteering. Instead of being like, go find the listserv or go call the town office, you can now see the positions that are available. I just realized I could totally steal the mouse and instead of making you run too. So right now it shows that so this one is gonna be coming down, right? And then, so if you're interested in any of these, you can sign up.
Yes,
That's a
I
plug
mean-
for that. But you're interested in any of these, you
Yeah.
can sign up. The application is now here, and I think this application it fills in and sends it to Elisa now. So we're working on incorporating workflows. I think this is one of them. If they're also gonna be doing some planning documents and stuff. So it's a pretty exciting update that will make us a little more modern. Things that pertain specifically to conservation, in addition to being able to sign up, we started working on having a trail master in place again, and asking people who are doing long-term basis work, like trail work right here, need to complete this volunteer service agreement and statement. So that's there too. And then there's day of forms to sign in, and Craig has that and he knows it, but just so that you guys can kind of see it and you know where it is as a resource. And there's more information on who's allowed to. And then this is something that every year we're gonna be doing with every single committee. And this is the onboarding materials for new board committee and commission members. So did they send you this link yet?
Nope,
I can either send it to you or you can pull it yourself, either way.
I can do it myself.
Awesome.
I've already did this, I got minutes and
Okay.
I've already been to the website. so.
Perfect. And so, and then onboarding material. So this right now is the whole packet that we were given. They're probably gonna pull some of the pieces out, so it's a little gap. But let's just take a quick look because,
That's great.
I'm looking for the 91A. Oh, and I didn't. I mean, we could do a find, yeah, since I'm like squinting and. I mean, it's been 2 months since I lost the screw out of my glasses. I could adult and go put them back together. Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Let's go into this right here. So, 91A is right to know law in the state of New Hampshire, and it's not just to make sure, and this is just a quick recap, so I'm not gonna go over everything and Morse went over. You can watch the last month one if you want on YouTube.
Being part of the Methodist Hill Committee.
Yep.
I understand.
No, Okay, so, and I think the big thing that we discussed last time, and it's the most
And
important.
Carol wasn't here last.
Oh, and
time.
Carol wasn't
Yeah,
here last time
so-
either. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's really challenging is that you're not a quorum if 2 people are talking, right? And that makes sense. But when people usually get in trouble in towns is if I were to go to Carol and be like, hey, Carol, what do you think? And I go to Jay, I'm like, what do you think? And then I go to Shirley and say, what do you think? Or hitting reply all in email, you basically can't hit reply all. The things you could hit reply all for are to be like, hey, I'm sick, I'm not gonna be there.
Or I can't send something out and ask everybody what they think.
Yes,
Yeah.
right, exactly. And so so if you had an idea in between meetings and you wouldn't send it out and you can't ask Shirley, the person who can do that for you is Rob Taylor. But you still have to be careful about making a meeting because really all of our business needs to be done in front of the public. And so,
If there's something urgent, we call a special meeting.
Right.
Otherwise, we wait till a meeting.
right, yeah. And so, and none of us have any individual powers, so we all act together. And so this is the handy little flow chart, so that's a great reference. And so that's kind of like the really quick overview and I'm sure as we go on, if we have activities or upcoming, like if we have news, say they're gonna have a big trail day, or you guys are gonna do another appearance at the farmers, or something like that, right? Just throwing out random.
Or the old home days.
Yeah,
thing.
old home days,
Yeah.
right, exactly. So those kind of pieces are gonna fall into this new news section. These have not totally been, they're just giant blocks. I mean, they're linked, but they're obviously very big. And then this is the new calendar. And there's a few different views. There's meetings and events which are separated now because a lot of times,
Ooh, Lego Free Build Thursday.
yeah, that was the first thing I saw Monday night and I was like, that looks, I'm not gonna lie, I was like,
It's a good time.
I wonder how many adults will come up, both of them.
I was kind of like, there's no conservation meeting, cause see, it's not a full calendar, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I mean, I could go to Legos though on Thursday. So if you click on full calendar, right, and then there's a lot of great filters. So you can filter by department, you can filter by your board. The thing we were wondering about on Monday was about whether you can, and you can add it to your calendar. So if you go in from your smartphone, you can also pull things to your calendar, which is, I live and die by my calendar. So I was like, what about my calendar? So, if you have any questions, Lisa is the most knowledgeable and obviously we're still populating. If you see something that's not quite right and it's an error, you can drop her a quick line, because this is a team effort, right? Like, we're not a big fancy organization with a whole staff that just does the website. So if something needs an update, let Lisa know, you can let Shirley know, you can let Rob know. So that's it. Do you have more select board items?
Yeah.
Questions? I
That's
think,
good.
okay.
That's great.
Sorry, this is probably the longest one you're ever gonna get from me.
No, that's
But
good.
I do
lot
have
of
a question. I don't know.
Mhm.
I know, I heard that Liam is leaving.
Oh,
We have
yes.
someone else.
that is, yes, yeah.
Sorry to know that leaving.
Yeah, no, that was a bummer. I got that message. So Liam has another opportunity. He is our building inspector. He also covers some fire pieces, right? And he's our health officer. And so tonight would have been our night to have him here.
Yeah.
I found out about that and then I should have sent you a note and said why I didn't do it. But our team immediately posted the position and we got somebody who's already trained and certified for it.
Oh, that's good.
So we've already hired them. So there's gonna be, there'll obviously be a transition and learning about our town, but
Mhm.
very, very fortunate. And so very excited for that new person to be.
He's been wonderful.
Yeah, yep. And
Where's he going?
I don't know where he's going. I just know he's going somewhere. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
The job market is very, very
Well, I
competitive.
think he really liked it here. I heard it, but the offer was too good to resist.
I mean,
That doesn't go in a minute.
well, no, and I think it's very competitive out there, so we're very fortunate to have found somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was great to have him, and he's done a lot in terms of educating people from a health standpoint. He's had a lot of important things he's done about water quality and
He's
working.
worked with our association. We've enjoyed it.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that we'll enjoy the same. And once the new person gets their feet under them, I think we should probably,
Mhm.
set aside time. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm guessing like maybe fall, winter.
Yeah.
After building season at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's gonna be busy.
Thank you
getting,
for reminding me.
Coming on board.
Yeah.
And,
I know, I have a project I need to do.
Yeah, but
A
thank
personal
you.
one.
Very great,
Yeah.
good report. Lots of good information.
Sorry, I neglected you guys before that. I don't know what I was thinking.
We won't let you get away.
Nothing. Gone.
So on the new business, you wanna give us an old home days update?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be, I guess I'm scheduled, Shirley's got me scheduled at the event center at the Shaker Museum for the 27th of July to do a presentation. It's a New Hampshire, new UNH extension presentation I'm gonna be doing on speaking for wildlife. It pretty much covers the history of wildlife in New Hampshire, so it's pretty cool presentation. So I'll do that. It's gonna be at 4 o'clock, right, Shirley?
Yes.
And I have a stack of posters which I wanna put out. So, Kate, we could probably put it on the calendar, right? On that
Yeah.
calendar?
Yeah, I don't know how they're listing the Old Home Days events, but definitely we could ask Elisa. Do you want to email her and just ask her?
I could do that.
Yeah, as
So-
long as everybody's on board with that, I think
Mm-hmm.
if she's willing to individually list, I just don't know. Cause now that we have that events before, you would list just Old Home Days
Mhm.
and link over, but
Yeah.
if that's a possibility, it kind of.
That would
Yeah, I
be
mean,
great.
it's a big place. It'd be nice to get as many people there as we can, you know?
Right, I think it's not, to me, it's not a competition. It's the
Right.
more interest we draw, the more
Right.
people will come. Yeah.
And we have the ice cream social just before it.
Yeah.
It's right in the same
And that
parking
is
lot.
very, very popular.
Yeah, so that should, a lot of people can go from.
I
there.
will-
One to the
ice
other.
cream.
All right, so I will email Elisa and ask her if she can put it in the calendar.
I say we, it's the library trustees that does the
Yeah.
library,
Yeah.
the ice cream socials.
You know, I'm talking about getting it on the calendar, so
Oh, yeah,
I should have just emailed Alyssa.
Yeah, ask
Elisa.
and
Elisa.
I'm thinking we should have it in the newsletter this month too.
And,
Can you do that?
Yep.
Okay,
and I think, I don't know yet how it's gonna play out with like meetings versus events getting listed, just in general.
Yeah.
So Elisa will tell you, and she might just say, hey, it's gonna be part of the larger listing, or she might say, you know,
Right.
I think it's, that's a town committee, so it's a pretty big.
It
event.
depends on, it's just like our schedule of events, we
Yeah.
have, it's just listing everything someone wants on there is not always possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Have only so much space.
It's also townwide yard sale.
so, and also I have a bunch of posters, so I'll just go around town and stick the posters up all over the place. There's stores and every place, so I got that, I can handle that myself. So I'll put posters up. And the other thing is the hike on
Right.
the next day, Sunday.
Too, yes,
And do you want me to send you a little blurb?
yeah.
Okay, I need to
That'd
do
be
that. I'll do
Blur for
that,
Both, give me what you would
Okay.
like to see in there.
the hike. So it's gonna be a hike at Coal Pond again. We had it for last year. Are you guys okay with that? I mean, last year it rained, it was a miserable day, so nobody showed up. I was there and nobody showed up. I think Coal Pond's pretty cool. I mean, there's other places to go, but I think. Coal
That's my
Pond's-
favorite rock.
Yeah, so we'll just shoot for Coal Pond again, because we didn't do it. So I'll send that to you, Shirley, a little blurb on what we're gonna do between that and the Speaking for Wildlife, and I'll send you, you have that poster, so you guys can send a poster out, you can, I'll put up,
Make a poster too.
I did,
Oh,
I
okay.
did, yeah. So anyway, so that's that, yeah,
And I think, the other thing we could do is if you have something that's a graphic that could go out onto social media. Elisa has access to social media as
Okay.
well. So
Okay.
that could get posted to social media and reposted to hit another form of.
okay, I'll ask her that too. So I'll just communicate with her
Yeah,
directly.
just give her an image and what
Yeah.
your blurb and.
Yeah. Sounds good, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm good with that. Old Home Days, we're all set with that.
I would say, I think there's more than one person who can, post, but I think recreation got locked out of their account today.
Okay,
And did you have an update you'd like to give us about school and something?
is that right now? Cause that's Old Home Days, that's old business.
You can do it under old business,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll do it under old business, okay?
And the next thing I put on was about, the newsletter and things that, we put in the newsletter. On, at our last meeting, we had on the, what was it called? About the birds and the cats,
Yeah, the ground dwelling bird
Yes.
loss.
ground dwelling bird loss and outdoor cats. And, we had, agreed to put it, it was agreed that it was a good idea to post the link, the article to help inform, community members. And, that's what we have done in the past.
Right.
Ed sent me a kind of a review of what the article said, but
What I,
I think it would be better to post the link.
okay, what I thought, I heard Jerry say that, which obviously I only thought that.
Yeah,
I thought he was asking for somebody to write a letter.
well,
about-
it did,
about
but,
it. And-
he might have, I don't know, I didn't hear that,
Yeah,
but,
but there was a dead silence after it, so I thought, well, maybe it's not a good idea, but I kind of like to do it. But I'm gonna be away for 3 weeks out of the next 4 in May, so I'm not gonna volunteer. And then I went home and thought about it. I looked at the article and I kind of condensed it and I made a 1-page letter for the newsletter. And I asked if you could share that with people.
Which
No,
became
no.
not under 91A, right?
Right, right.
right,
So, and you said we need to do it at the meeting.
right.
So, he seemed pretty strong about this. And my thought was if we post a link, first of all, somebody's got to read the newsletter.
Mhm.
And then they're gonna see the link. They may or may not go to the link.
Well,
Then they're gonna open up that article and there's a lot of fluff in it. So I condensed it to 1 page. And we don't have to put this in the newsletter. I don't care one way or the other.
I
but-
think newsletter typically should be original content that's specific to Enfield, and if
Okay,
you have an outside source, you link to the outside source. Otherwise, you're gonna need citations and all that, right? Because we have to still be careful
okay.
about replicating someone else's work. In terms of, Jerry can email the listserv and do things on his own, but since he's not a commission member, we aren't necessarily beholden to him to do his work for him. Right. So I think,
because then we could, we could set a precedent. We usually, if there's something like that, give the link for people to go. We could certainly title it so it'll be to their, attention.
Yeah.
but I think the other thing you could do is write like 1 or 2 sentences that this was brought forward by former
Right,
commission member, and like, I
yeah,
not
I
gonna
agree.
use it, but like something like 2 sentences and then learn more here
Okay.
and then bang. And people who want to, because that newsletter is very long. I read it religiously, because I need to, because if not, someone's like, well, that was in the newsletter. I'm like, oh, no, I didn't read it. So
It is long.
it is long and it's important, but it's like, you might skim the part that says hazardous waste pickup day, because you're like, I don't have any. So I think people will pick up the parts they need, but brevity is our friend to make sure that people read the newsletter.
So I looked at it from a different standpoint. I looked at it as, well, let's get the Conservation Commission on the newsletter. So let's do an article and have something out there.
Well,
But,
we will be.
I-
We've been in the newsletter
oh, I know we have.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
and,
so we don't need to. I was gonna pass it around for people to see, but there's no need to do that.
well, thank you for your effort, but
Yeah,
I hope you understand why we think that we should do.
I do.
Really.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was more Enfield related, I guess.
Do people have to register their cats?
No,
You don't,
Mhm.
okay.
Is
I didn't
anyone else-
realize there were that many cats that live outdoors.
Pardon me?
I said, I didn't even realize there were that many cats that live outdoors that made it an issue.
We've always kept ours in.
Yeah, I like,
But-
so I'm a
But
farmer.
you have
right?
to
They're
read the
indoor
article.
outdoor.
It is interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
So cats are definitely, they kill for fun. They definitely so on a farm, you have them because they go in the hay and they keep the rodents, right, which bring in ticks and pests
Yeah.
and worms and
In
so.
I know we have a woman that, lets her, it isn't outdoors all the time, but it is a neighbor. And, we don't, we hope that, the chipmunks will take off because of this capping in the neighborhood, because boy, they are plentiful.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah.
is there any other, new business before we go on to old
I just
business?
want to say one more thing about it.
Sure.
I can take Conservation Commission off of that, and I may just submit it to the Valley News or something for the Valley News. to push it.
Oh, you could write it as a letter to the editor for
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Since I already did it, I figured, why not get it out there? Because it's kind of interesting stuff. Anyway, that's fine.
Anyone have any other new business, other, before we go on to old?
So that wouldn't be a copyright issue or anything if he just reworded an article?
Yeah, there's.
No, I mean, I'm a very by the book for citations. You don't want my opinion on it. I am
So
Well,
very.
yeah,
So I'd be interested doing that.
I don't know if you'd get
Your brain
arrested,
is
but I don't.
You might not get
if
found out.
you, if
But-
you write about something, if you properly cite it, you really must reference, and Kate is correct in that. And, we, in town business, in schools and whatever, I mean, it's just good, the proper practice, and that's why we do it. So we're not
Yeah.
plagiarizing, and we're not, violating any of those kinds of, excuse me, trusts and things that people have about information, but as long as you cite it properly, you should be fine. Yeah.
But I agree, you should take the Conservation Commission off.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. No, just.
Yeah.
And those who know me,
I get-
know me.
I
And
guess
you
it does bring up one question in my mind. Sorry, Shirley.
Oh, go ahead.
In terms of kind of our role in, providing information and education and all, it would be nice to maybe, sorry, talk a little bit about that and the proper way to do it so that when we do have good information like this, that we can know maybe how much we want to try and, excuse me, publish or at least inform people about various topics that are important to us. Maybe we're working on something, and that kind of a thing. But 100%, we must be doing, proper citations and kind of appropriate practices on, excuse me, on all of that. And I think that's one of our important roles is awareness, right? How do we
Yep.
build awareness? Yeah.
Yep, totally right. Totally agree.
Yep.
And, was gonna give you these, this is maps that.
But I'll come visit you in the
that we
slammer.
use
And-
Whenever we're.
I'm sorry.
looking up
I'll come visit
properties,
you in the
that
slammer.
Made.
No slammers.
I'll bring you
And then I
cookies.
have
Oh, good.
these on order. for
With a
you.
star in it.
They have a lot of
Snickerdoodles or chocolate
information.
chip or.
No baking cake with a star in it.
So
Zero
I'll get
parts.
those to you as soon as they come in.
Okay, thank you, Shirley.
And do you have one of them?
No, I do not. Was that what was handed out at the farmer's market? Is this the?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. I was gonna
And-
ask for wanted to get one of those.
Yeah.
This I do have.
Okay.
This one I do have, but I can take it home, but this one I already have.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Yeah, I was gonna give those to you earlier.
Does he get one of these? too?
Yes, I have one on over.
Oh, okay.
And if
Probably
you
gonna
need
be
anything
tomorrow.
beforehand, it's online.
Okay.
Yes, it is on.
I'm the no paper person.
Yes.
I feel like we're on Conservation Commission and we kill so many trees and it makes me bananas.
Yeah, both of these are online. You can, and I'll send you the links if you want to. But I did order them because some
Yeah,
people
no.
like to look at them and.
No, I
They
totally
know
get it. I
to-
just think we have a lot of
But I know
paper.
what you're saying, Kate. There's a lot that's. a lot of
Everybody
pages.
learns and works differently and I'm just at the no paper point in my life.
Okay, so under old business, would you like to share your?
Yeah, quickly, what's it, May 22nd, I did a presentation for Jen Fitzgerald's environmental science class at the high school.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a little late in the season. Some of the kids had senioritis, but it was good. So I felt really good about the spiel I did. I brought in the maps of the critical wildlife habitats of our town. And I also had the reference because it's Mascoma High School. It's not just Enfield, it's Canaan.
Mhm.
So, but the maps have a lot of Canaan in it. And, I think I can speak for Canaan's Conservation Commission a little bit, in terms of awareness. I mean, that was my whole purpose, was to just create an awareness for what we are, what we do, what we've accomplished, some of the things we've done. And that was really basically it. And, it went pretty well. So Jen was very happy with it, and I left the door open. I said, I'd like to continue to do that on a regular basis. There's no harm in doing that, and she's more than welcome to it. So starting next fall, I got my spiel down. I'll just keep going in, and whenever she wants, and do a presentation to a different class to keep them aware of who we are, what we're doing, and yeah, we you know, you got to spread the word. Okay, so it was good. It was good. So.
Anyone else?
I learned something really interesting, the other, so I think it was, we were talking about, so I don't know how it came up, but they told us basically, oh, it was Phil Neely about fire safety. And they said basically statistics show that if you don't teach kids about fire safety before 12 years old, that's when they absorb it the best, is before 12. But I think in terms of conservation, they're about to go out into adulthood where they're making like big choices. So that's a really great spot to do that.
Yeah.
And some of the kids were really involved, and they just asked a lot of questions, and you know, and then see, I think late in the season, that was my bad choice too. It was near the end of school year, so you had kids that were just, all they could think about was getting the heck out of school. But I think I had half the class, and I think Jen agreed with me too. So, you know, I'll just work with her. I have her contacts. I'll work with her or anyone else and just try to develop that that contact and the rapport. So I think it's a good thing. And, you know, if I work on this spiel, I can get it down in paper and stuff like that. So it's something that maybe I can hand off to anyone else so that can be passed on to someone else. Because I think keeping the doors open to schools is important.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I think a good thing is, I'd like to reach out to Canaan too, because it kind of make sense to have someone maybe from Canaan join me
Yes.
and come to the meeting and say, okay, Canaan, Enfield, and you know, does Dorchester and Grafton have conservation commissions?
Dorchester, Grafton, and Orange, boy, I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, we're the two big towns of the group, so, yeah.
We could. check into that.
Yeah, I could check into it
If it's
beforehand.
not a
That is a
statutory
good idea
requirement, they
to
might
have-
not.
But we have
They are-
contacts with Canaan now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We have
Yeah.
contacts
And
with them.
Canaan, they're an active
They're
commission.
very active,
And,
yeah.
I'm sure that they'd be.
Yeah.
Like to do that with you.
So yeah, come together and you just keep that ball rolling. So that's kind of the things I like to do. So I'd like to keep it going.
Good,
That makes me feel
that's
good.
great. I think that's very worthwhile.
We want you to
thing
feel
for you to
good.
be doing.
Well, you want to feel good doing what you do.
Yeah.
Everybody has the things they like to do. I don't mind getting up in front of people and talking. You know, I'm not afraid to embarrass myself, and I'm not afraid to say a few things wrong, but you know, people will tell me if I'm wrong, but I just want to make people aware of our habitat and the importance of keeping it
Mhm.
as green as possible.
I just saw a thing in the newspaper where they actually, in some areas, are building grassy bridges over highways for
Oh, yeah.
animal.
Or tunnels underneath,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or tunnels, yeah,
Mhm.
because this so animals can get through.
Did you see the salamander one in Massachusetts?
I heard about it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they-
But, and it's a big town effort where they've had years of trying different things, so it's pretty neat.
It's nice to know that people are becoming more aware of how the things that humans do affect the wildlife.
Yeah, we've got to. I mean, it's.
I would just like to say, don't ever take your little snow shovel out of your vehicle because it's great for turtles.
And then, yeah.
Oh, I moved a turtle already last week.
Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah.
I ran out in front of my neighbor and was like, wait, and then I was like, stay right there. Come out with a shovel and was like,
I
"Shoot."
never thought of that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
collapsible ones, and they
That's a good
fit
way.
right in that little spot.
I have it in the wintertime, I took it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and because the snappers are, I mean, I'm not grabbing their shell.
No,
No, I
no.
understand.
I mean, I know there's a way to do it,
But
but
you
they
wanna
have
help.
claws and they have salmonella.
Yeah, you don't want to touch them.
And you know where to put them, right?
You just point them
They
in the
go
same
the
direction they're
direction
going.
The direction they're going,
The
right?
Yeah.
direction they're going. That's what I did. This is a good size. I think it was a box turtle.
Mm.
I moved her. She was heading back to the water. I just picked her up because I almost hit her. I was on my bike. I almost hit her on the rail trail. And I just missed her and I said, whoa, picked her up and I moved her.
There's a place on Crystal Lake Road they cross every season. This is the season.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There was,
There's a box turtle walking on our property this weekend, and my grandson went over, looked at it, and it just turned around, went back into the lake.
Yeah.
I ran inside to get my camera, I was gonna take a picture and it was gone.
My little guy was a little painted one, and I stopped. We have a huge snapper. And I went to show my daughter, and she didn't get out fast enough, and I was like, "Oh, you're slower than a turtle," which is apparently not what you tell your 10-year-old. Very angry.
We've seen some, you know, the head looks like a chunk of wood, like these big ones. And I've gone out to try to get a picture and they're gone. before I
Yeah.
can get there. They're
Yeah,
here, must be great.
She just had to go around the car to get out, and then it was like right across and right into the brook. It was like, no, thank you.
And they swim a lot faster than they walk. too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What turtles really work?
Turtles.
Oh,
Well, yeah, and I saw an article today. It was the Center for Wildlife, which is in Massachusetts. They had a nice note up today explaining that when you see them cross the road, if they're going to be laying, they typically cross back to the other side within a matter of a few hours. So in that case, the woman went back, who happened to be the director for the center, went back and caught it just in time to shove it across the other side. So, and they said they know where it's gonna be the correct temperature with the right amount of sunshine. That's pretty
And if you're lucky, you see when she's bringing the hatched ones back across.
Have you ever seen that?
No, but I've heard of someone who has, that they saw.
Well, speaking of that, just a thought here is, I know I used to see them in South Berwick where I used to live,
Mhm.
is they put up the signs during the
Mhm.
turtle crossings and just made people be aware.
Yeah.
I
Turtle
don't know if that's
crossing.
something.
Do you know what happens to those signs here? There was a turtle crossing sign at Spectacle Pond, so AJ and I own the spot where they kind of
Mhm.
lay, and somebody donated it, and they made it 2.5 days before
Wow.
people stole the signs. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but even the temporary one,
Right.
no, I know, it's like sad because, but maybe that's something we could do, is calendar for an article ahead of, like, it would have to be in May,
Yeah.
if we did a May article.
So it would
Yeah,
be.
just reminding
yeah.
people.
But we
This
could
is
get a
turtle
post, we
wing
could
season.
actually we might be able to get a conservation commission remind you, post up on social media.
That's a good thing.
Do you guys wanna do that?
Yeah.
I could
I
send
think
one,
it sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just
I
a
like it.
quick.
Yeah. We
Conservation.
have things
Yes.
crossing the road all the time and it worries me, so would be great.
Yeah.
Things we can, that, like you say,
Yeah.
aware, make people aware
Mhm.
before, because I mean, it's very easy to not see one and hit it.
Yeah. Oh, no, I drove by, thought it was like something had fallen off the truck, backed up. So do you want me to just like
Yeah.
get a picture of a turtle that's not copyrighted, and,
Yeah, that would be great,
Okay.
okay.
or if somebody has a picture of a turtle? Does anybody have a picture they took? That's the best
I've
one,
never
okay.
been able to get it one.
I tried to get one Saturday, but I didn't.
I have a great
Maybe I
person
might
for-
get one tomorrow.
That's my doc.
Yeah.
Good size snapping.
Oh, really?
If you get a picture, send it to me and I'll
But
put
it's-
them up.
But it's in the water.
There's quite a few on it. One neighbor was putting in his dock and he didn't realize, he thought he was on a slippery rock. And
Oh.
it was a turtle.
Oh, wow.
This is why I don't
If you kayak down to the deck, go under the bridge there, right before the bridge, there's that tree in the water, and a lot of times there's a whole bunch of little turtles on there. A Couple of years ago, there was like 4 or 5 I'd see out there.
Anybody else have any old business?
No, no turtle stories.
Did you take a look at the correspondence and have any questions or concerns? It seemed.
It seemed pretty straightforward.
That's what I was gonna say, pretty all straightforward.
A lot of documents, but it seemed they're really
Yeah. You know,
cover all the bases.
Yeah.
It's a little overwhelming. You go and you sign on, you look and you see 100 pages.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna print it out and then I saw how long. it was.
Yeah, that's one thing I definitely read on the computer.
Yeah, I printed out a couple pages of things that I thought were kind of cool, but just would like to just comment on two of the issues. Shoreline permit. People are doing the right thing. People are absolutely doing the right thing.
To be more aware.
Yeah, I mean, this one is talking about a garage that was built in 2008, but there was no plans were never submitted.
Right.
So they went back, this is Dan Reagan.
Yeah.
Went back, submitted that and submitted for a new septic system.
We'll take a new septic system anytime.
Perfect, perfect.
Yes.
And then one of the other ones was this Cara Albert. They were redoing it, removing the current house and garage and replacing with a new house.
Yeah.
And the thing that I thought was really good and interesting
Get back.
was
Yeah.
everyone's concerned about the percentage of impervious area. They actually decreased the percentage.
Yeah.
Didn't see that? They
Is that nice?
decreased the percentage of,
Yeah, so they're listening.
yeah. So I think both of them get A pluses.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
That's
Yeah,
what you like to see,
Yeah,
is, applications like this.
yeah.
Um,
And I always get a kick out of the intent to cut wood. Look at
Yeah.
those. And I look, how many acres? And, you know, these two seem fine. Just get some pines out of that.
one thing to share, I had a great day today, spent the day at the Lakes Congress over in Meredith. And, I picked up a couple things, there's things we talk about all the time. That I thought you might be interested in seeing, not passing. It's about, septic systems, landscaping, salts, and all those things. But it was a great day, a lot of, you can make a lot of connections and learn a lot about.
Yeah.
Protecting lakes.
I mean, this is the stuff they had at that presentation the gentleman did at the Chosen Vale. Remember you and I were that presentation?
Yes,
That was
he
good.
was there.
Short.
He was
Actually,
there?
he was there presenting
He
today.
was very good.
Yeah. This,
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
yeah, he was very good.
Speaking of, road salt, what is the town's position on like Crystal Lake Road?
Well, you know, we actually did some testing on there. It's good around a lot of lakes. They have no salt or low salt areas. And we were concerned about it because of the roads, you know, so close.
Yeah, exactly.
And you see a lot, well, you know, we just did some testing on salt and actually wasn't bad at all.
It was a mild winter.
Pardon me,
It was a mild winter.
yes, but we certainly,
Right.
we do a lot of extra testing like that. To keep an eye on things on the lakes so that if there is, you know, a difference and a problem occurring, we can hopefully do something about it.
And we got a nice presentation, and I'm sure the copy, I don't remember which month, but we could look in the minutes and find it. Jeremy came in, who's the head of the road group, the
Yeah.
highway group, and talked to us about what he's done. And so they've changed to doing some pre-treating. So when you see those lines
Yeah, I
on the
remember
road.
hearing about that.
Yep, and
That's good.
and that really has made a big difference because you don't need to turn out folks. It's good economically, right? From you know, in terms of saving on labor and tax dollars. So it's also better in terms of not sending people out to solve.
Yeah, and that's another thing that we can do too. Is when we're having a speaker come in like that, we can, try to publicize that too, so no members of the public.
Yeah,
Right.
And it doesn't hurt to repeat having a speaker like that. Either.
this is what
I'm just surprised that 4A and Crystal Lake Road are not low salt usage.
I know, I've said.
Well,
it for
four A
years.
is not a town,
It's a state,
the state road.
That's
but
maintained
it
by
could
the,
still have.
No, it is a state road 100%.
and maintained by the state.
Yep.
That's the state.
But, as you, I don't know if you've
But
been to
still.
other communities where roads are closed, there's lots of communities that have no salt or low salt
Right.
areas around their lakes, especially if they're
That's
close
such a
to.
back of the
Yeah.
TV.
So I don't know if there's something we can do to try to get that implemented.
There is. That's why we did some testing.
Right.
There isn't a problem.
Well,
Not this year,
but
but we will
if
continue
you
to
test and it's a problem, it's too late. You
Right,
want to prevent it from here.
yeah, I agree. I've always felt it would be good to
Right.
have a low salt area there.
But Jeremy came
Mm-hmm.
with one time was it this year?
That was this
last year.
past year. Yeah, that
Yeah,
they
he
said,
came here and
Last
said that
summer.
they were working on that and they were establishing those salt areas.
and they've been continually doing testing and documenting
Yeah.
and providing, so, there's an overspray they can do, on low.
And we are.
He's implemented a lot of them.
Test, we watch them, we test.
I don't know if there's anything we can do as a state as far as fluoride is concerned, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Just-
no, I'm not, my experience getting the state to do stuff is the biggest challenge. We've been wrestling them for a crosswalk for 2 years.
Our next meeting falls on
In front of elementary.
July 4th.
That's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
That's a
So,
big problem.
do you want to go to July 11th next month,
Yeah.
our meeting?
July 11th is fine with me.
I mean,
It's fine with me.
Is this room available?
I mean,
Is this room available?
I'll check on.
Because I know that that's
Yeah.
sometimes a problem with.
Right.
Oh.
And that's what we need to check on
This room is. kind of-
before we.
Oh, I can see Whitney, look at her, she's,
Yeah, I was gonna say we can.
she's looking at upcoming.
Right.
meetings.
Tonight,
Oh, it's
that would be
Tuesday?
zoning, generally.
No, Thursday.
Harry, trustees.
Are they,
Oh,
they're not usually here though, are they? Oh, but, oh, yeah, they are here.
66.
Yeah, I mean, they usually don't run super long.
They're here at 6 on that night.
On the 11th, yep.
Yeah.
That's the only thing scheduled, though.
I bet they're not that very, probably isn't very long meeting.
Yeah, ask Bridget.
I'll ask Elisa.
What she thinks.
I'll ask Bridget how long they usually run.
Oh, that's right.
That's fine. I'm okay with that date.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We'll notify you.
I will not be here,
You won't.
but.
So we
I
can
can do
record
the
it,
recording, yeah.
Okay.
right? Okay, does anyone else have? any
Yeah, I have
other
one
business?
thing. In our neighborhood, we have a lot of these beautiful flowering black locust trees.
Mhm.
And they're really out now. Who has them? There's a couple right out here I noticed coming in.
Want some?
I've got.
No, I'm just saying.
Because I
No,
have
no.
some, I'll give you.
They seem to be very prominent in our town. You have a bunch in your property?
There are weeds.
So my
He's
husband,
got a ton.
my
I think they're
husband,
beautiful though.
well, so they're great for bees and my husband, until our bees died. He brought them home and there are, like you said, a weed, but they're down over the bank.
Yeah, we've got a bunch on Even Chance Road.
If you want, I would say, if anyone wants some, I have some you can have.
I don't-
I'm big into giving away plants.
I have one in my yard
Now,
and then my neighbor has a bunch of them and they are beautiful. They're beautiful trees. And you know something? My neighbor, knew what he did with them? He took the flowers and he breaded them and deep fried them. They're edible. They're wonderful.
Really?
Wow.
I wonder if
Yeah,
their
It's
name,
like a tempura. He used a tempura batter
Yeah.
and cooked them up and they were really, really good.
Wow.
Okay, I did not know that.
look it up.
My husband will definitely be into that idea. Except have you ever gotten scratched by one?
No.
So for some people, it causes
I
a
know they're
pretty
thorns,
profound reaction,
Yeah,
to thorns, so
Yeah,
just be careful.
they're thorny. I just thought they're beautiful and
They grow so fast.
yeah, it's a
You
fast
can
one.
literally hear them
Oh,
growing.
Are they?
Black locust.
Yeah.
Oh, black.
yeah, we had a couple little and now they're like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've only been there for
Yeah.
14.
that's like willow trees grow like that. Willow trees grow
Hey,
fast.
Harry,
They grow really fast.
what's the
But what-
origin of
we
the
should
black
really
locust?
do
Semi hardwood.
This is hard. Wood is hard.
Yeah.
No, it's very hard.
Yeah.
You try to.
Black locust is native to southeastern United States.
South that you
Oh, so it's kind of moved up.
Must
Well, it's
be-
just interesting, you know, I'm, like I said, our neighborhood's loaded with them. Okay, that's all I had to say.
Anybody else have something to say?
No.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Meeting.
Yeah, all right, good.
Alrighty, thank you
All in
guys.
favor, aye.
Hey, go
Thank you.
Celtics.
Bye.
Go
Go
Celtics.
Celtics.
Yeah, go Celtics.
Going tonight, right?
It's not tonight. In fact, they start in a few minutes.
would like do men's sports.
That's why you wanna get going.
I have my shirt on.
We did it in 55.